Yo, welcome back. For those of you who saw episode 1, we found the name, Inside The Wheelhouse. So welcome to now episode 2 of Inside The Wheelhouse. I'm Brendan Vega, and he is...
Ahmir Cournier.
Ahmir Cournier. So today we have some good stuff. We're going to really just be featuring Ahmir and just, asking him about his process, what made him choose Wheelhouse, what made him stay with Wheelhouse, what made him train with me before Wheelhouse became a thing, the whole nine, We want to feature a lot of our guys, a lot of our athletes, former guys that train here, current guys that train here, and kind of let them go through their story. So, without further ado, question number 1. Ahmir, what made you choose me? I think it was, 2019, right?
Yeah, 2019.
So, 2019, a little backstory. I was coaching at Jacksonville Memorial High School. I was the JV coach there, and for a few years I was the hitting coach for varsity. So I had the opportunity to work with Coach Malta, and I'm very grateful and thankful for that opportunity. Over those years, from 2016, I believe it was, until 2021, which is when I opened Wheelhouse, 2022, sorry, I had the pleasure of coaching a ton of guys, very talented guys, ranging from professional, D1, D2, D3, the whole nine. 2019, Ahmir was actually at one of the schools in our conference at Toms River East, but he was also a Jackson guy. A lot of the guys at Jackson knew him, played with him, were friends with him, or close with him. So 2019, he transferred on over. That was the first time I really got a chance to work with him. So that winter, I was working with the New Jersey Marlins, and we had a facility at Canto Benemis in Millstone. We just had a bunch of our guys come and hit, and for some reason, good, bad, indifferent, they chose to hit with me. So at the time, I could tell you, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was a big blast motion guy in 2019. So we'll let Ahmir kind of walk through his experience and, take it from there. So what made you come?
So, as you said, 2019, a lot of guys were hitting with you. A lot of guys that I knew were hitting with you, so I just joined on board. I was just like, I'm gonna just hit with you guys. Could have hit somewhere else, but it was close enough. 15 minutes probably, if that.
Yeah.
And I just hit with you, and that was pretty much where it started. High school, our team raked, and he was a big reason why we were so good at hitting, and not just putting that on you or anything, but a lot of hand-eye stuff, the colored balls, the numbered balls, the hitting zone was a big credit to you, and that was a big credit to why we were so good that year. So that'll probably be the start of why I came to you in the first place.
Yeah, so back in 2019, and even before that, what Ahmir was talking about was we did a lot of colored ball drills. So we would do different colors, and we'd tell guys, take the blue ball, for example, swing at the red dot. I'd put a bunch of balls with a number across the plate. We work on pitch tracking. We had a hard and cold chart, so I'd make guys just kind of create a hot and cold zone chart for what they believed was their hot zones and what they believed they were cold zones. So in other words, what pitches they could handle and locations, and we were always hunting fastballs and adjusting off speed. That was always our approach. It wasn't a matter of I can handle breaking ball away. It was a matter of, do you hit up, do you hit down, do you hit in, do you hit out really well? And then we were charted during the games. So each and every one of them had a binder. They had a chart, and every single game we were charted over this course of the season. They would see where they handled pitches well and where they didn't do well. And ironically, we had a lot of reds in the hitting zone. So, so some kids thought it was stupid. Other guys took it more seriously. We just did it for the team, and it helped them create that approach. It helped them keep it simple. It helped them stop thinking. They came in with every at-bat, and they had a plan. So that stuff started. We made our offensive chart, our goals that year, and we pretty much blew everything out of the water. And that lineup was loaded. We had a lot of talented kids, and so it was a good way to keep them going and have them prepared and kind of build on for their careers later on in the road. Which then takes us to when I left, when Ahmir left, wasn't really swing based, right? When he came to us, it wasn't really swing based, it was more blast motion. I know a lot of schools are big on, or a lot of coach camps and clinics are big on, the bat speed, rotational acceleration. And I get it, people think that those metrics help you project where you can be. So my first, taste of technology and where I should start teaching the swing and approach it started with blast. But I was big on the reds and greens, so of like the red, yellow, and greens of plane and the efficiency and all that other stuff. So I went through that stage, and we had some moments where, I'll let Ahmir kind of talk. But for long story short, I feel like a lot of guys wanted to take the blast and kind of smash it through a windshield if they could.
Yeah, sure.
So, but you want to talk to that? Like, how was that whole experience for you?
So the blast motion didn't really bother me as much because I was already at a school that used it. So it was part of the program. It's what we did. So it wasn't nothing to me. But some of the dudes that I trained with, they just wanted to throw that thing. They just wanted to throw that thing in the garbage. It was stupid. It was dumb. But it didn't bother me, probably because I was already using it, so I was already used to it. But funny times, funny moments when we were like, oh, this isn't the right number, oh, this is stupid, and then just toss it. But blast was funny.
Oh, man.
It was funny to see dudes. Obviously, they were still hitting the ball. They were like, I'm hitting the ball good, why is this number so bad? And Big was like, bro, it's blast, bro.
that was the crazy part, too. Guys would barrel it, and it was like, that was bad on plane efficiency.
Yeah.
Bad this, bad that.
Yeah.
Bat speed was good.
Bad piece, yeah.
Rotational acceleration through the roof.
Yep.
But the plane efficiency wasn't green. It wasn't green, nothing was good. And I remember that was like my living Bible of, dude, your swing sucks. You got to fix it. Yeah. But it wasn't. It wasn't. Like the video, when we look back at it now, it's like, that was a damn good swing, but the blast said it wasn't, and it didn't match up, and it left a lot of guys frustrated. And then we kind of evolved into understanding, okay, bat speed's probably important, and these metrics are important for your college. Your coaches think they're important, so we're gonna, keep an eye with the blast because they can track your swings through that. So, very funny times, man. It was good. It was good. Had its good moments, had its bad moments, but it led to the continued development of, myself and Ahmir. And everybody else who was around us. They all wanted to know what it was we were doing. At the time, I was kind of like one of the few guys that believed in technology. I was always recording swings, recording lifts, recording guys throwing. So I was always on the phone, recording things, swing by swing by swing by swing. And then I got the blast, so then it was like, okay, record the swing, see if it matches. And that went on for a while. The approach-based stuff was always a thing. I got the colored ball stuff from Carlos Beltran. I kind of took a page out of what he did. I remember seeing a video. I don't remember if it was Kansas City, Houston, or the Mets, one of the three. But I remember seeing a video of him doing tennis ball drills off a machine, and he would have a number on a tennis ball, and he had to call out each number. He was taking the pitch, but to see the ball coming out of the machine at 100 miles an hour and still be able to see what number is coming out of the tennis ball or the baseball, whatever ball he was using, that struck me. Because in the beginning, when I look back at it, I didn't know how to really pick up pitches and register pitches. So for me, when I saw that in my first couple years of coaching, I was like, damn, I wish I knew that. Like when I was playing college baseball, it was more of, I didn't have an approach. I wish I did. I wish I knew the importance of it. It was kind of taught to me here and there, but I didn't really understand it, and so I didn't really listen to it. But oftentimes when I look back at it, when I was hitting well, the ball looked like a beach ball. When I wasn't, the ball looked like a little peanut. I could not register and see what was coming to me early enough, and we'll talk about probably why now down the road, but I couldn't see that. So that was my first kind of tell of, these kids need to understand how to recognize pitches, and you can actually pick things up out of the hand. Like, not necessarily out of the hand, but early enough to where it seems like it's out of the hand. And that's where it started. And I think a lot of the kids that did those vision things had a leg up, in my opinion, because they were able to register pitches early. And because they were able to register pitches early and had their hot and cold zones, they were able to see that really early. And in high school, it's a huge advantage, especially when you have guys that oftentimes struggle to command 2 pitches. So it was good. And it all started with that. And that ran all the way through until you were what? So 2019 was your senior year.
Senior year.
2020, Ahmir was at NC Central. He lost a year to COVID, right?
Yep.
And then 2021, were you at NC Central?
I was at NC Central again. That was the last year they had baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I had to go totally different route.
Different route, right?
Yeah, a lot of different places.
So
I mean, the whole team did because it was.
Yeah, because you lost a program. That's
Yeah,
unfortunate
lost a
too.
program.
Yeah, you know, no program. You're kind of in like a, you don't know what to do there at that point. What year? So now is when we kept on going. We kept on exchanging videos, and then I would see you every summer, right? That was the time we would go to the Justice Complex, so doing blast motion.
Yep.
That was then. When were you at Gaston? That was 2020.
22.
It's 2022. There we go. Yeah. So that blast thing, that whole entire thing went all the way until about 2022, and
Actually, probably before. I think it stops like
2021,
fall,
right?
like 2021, I think.
So 2021. So we're talking my first 5 years of coaching, being a hitting coach. It was blast motion approach, just do this stuff, and your swing will play. Little did I know, that wasn't true. The metrics are great. That stuff's good. You need it to track things, and coaches want to see that, and that's fine. It's part of the process for recruiting, but it's not the end-all, be-all. So 2021 is when we stopped blast. 2021 is also when I decided that I was going to open up a business. I was opening up Wheelhouse Training. So Wheelhouse Training was running out of different baseball fields whenever there was availability in a cage, and doing remote strength stuff. And over that time, I actually had a parent during a one-on-one lesson ask me if I knew who Teacherman was. And I was like, no. What are you talking about? Who's this? And we were still using blast at the time, but I had read Swing Kings. I was reading Swing Kings, I should say. And I was at I think the Doug Latta part. So I didn't reach Teacherman yet. I didn't reach Rich yet. That was during that. Yeah. So the guy showed me the video. He was like, so you teach about this hand pivot thing? And I was like, there's no fucking way. No. We're not doing that. We're good. And I was doing ladder stuff. So I was doing a lot of the star in the back leg, and you got to shift to 50-50, find the sit. And I thought it was going to be good because I saw Justin Turner do it. And I was like, okay, well, the big leaguers are following this guy. They're following Wallenbrock. This is pretty good. So it's got to be good. Major leaguers at the time are going to these private instructors because their careers were either on a downturn, they were on their last leg or what have you, and all of a sudden Justin Turner's an all-star. He rejuvenates his career, becomes this person. JD Martinez, same thing. Jose Bautista, same thing. These guys were foregone conclusions. They've been forgotten about. Josh Donaldson, same thing. All of a sudden they're raking. So I'm like, I'm gonna read the book, and I'm just gonna go through what each person's thing is, their story, their journey, and how they went about developing these guys. Clearly they're doing something right because they were big leaguers when they got there. They had a career, and now all of a sudden they're on their last leg, but now they're reaching superstar.
Getting better. Yep.
So how does that even, your talent clearly didn't make you go from journeyman to all-star. You were talented already. You got to the big leagues, congratulations. But now all of a sudden you're this all-star, this MVP candidate. What's going on? So then I'm reading Swing Kings, and then the next chapter just happens to be Teacherman. And it was a very short chapter in the book. I think it was chapter 3 or 4, but arguably the shortest chapter in the book. And if you read Swing Kings, awesome book. I recommend anybody who's doing player development do it and read it. At first I was very stubborn to it, and I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to see it. I didn't think it was right. I thought it was awkward. I thought it was stupid. I was like, there's no way this is happening. But what happened was a lot of the guys that I was coaching and training, we would go into tournaments and we would rake. We would hit. We were hitting average arms, like, mid sevens, low eights, very average breaking ball. And when we see something as above average, we'd struggle. I think my biggest eye opener was when we were in a tournament and I had one of the lower level teams. We were the 2 or 3 seed with the best offense in the tournament. We scored the most runs. We get to the semifinal round. We face a UConn commit. There's just simple 85 with a breaking ball and no hits us. Like we got the doors blown off of us, and I was like, what the hell? And it had nothing to do with approach. That's when I first realized it was not the approach that was the issue. These kids were following exactly what was being taught. And I was like, what the hell? Like, what is going on? Like, we were just hitting that when it was 75, 80. Now it's 85 and up with a solid breaking ball, and they're just whiffing through it. So that was kind of my first thing where I was like, something's wrong here. We went through a whole entire off season. I think that year was like that February year when I was at the dugout, right? Something like that.
Dugout, yeah.
So still doing the same training. And then I'm training one of my high school kids, and we start going on the machine finally, and he's whiffing through everything. Same situation. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? What's going on? He's like, I don't know. Like, I'm just whiffing. It feels like I have a hole in my back. I'm like, something's not right. So shortly after that, we're all done training with the college guys, and the high school guys were almost done. They already off to school. And I see a video of Nelson Cruz. And I'm like, holy shit. I see the hand pivot. I see the blur. I see what this dude's talking about. Like, damn. I read through Swing Kings. I saw Rich's thing, and I was still like iffy about it. But I was picking between Gradam and Rich and trying to see like, okay, what am I gonna do next? Because this isn't working for my guys. I need to find a way to get these guys better. They're not maxed out yet. I know there's something else there. There's something else there. To be honest with you, I was not gonna pay $2,000 to try to be G certified. And Rich's Facebook thing that's got all the modules, drills, the whole 9 weekly Facebook group, I think it was like $300 at the time. And I was like, sold, no brainer, done, right? That was January 26th, that Friday. That Sunday, I finally hit the modules. Module 3 felt like the biggest idiot. I was like, holy shit. Like, what? Like, this is it. Like, explaining everything. It was going through like the hand pivot thing. I took one swing and I was like, wow. One swing. And it wasn't technically correct, mechanically correct, wasn't right, but it was different. It felt different. It felt like it was the thing. January 26th. Now we're going February 1st. I'm training a high school kid. And I'm like, dude, we're going to scrap everything we just did. That kid had never played high school baseball. He played high school baseball, not varsity baseball. We scrapped everything we did. He was like, are you serious? What are we doing? Within 3 days, he felt what he needed to feel. That whole entire year, his first year of varsity baseball, ends up hitting 400, leads the state of New Jersey in doubles. That had to be right, right? Something had to be right. And at the time, I'm still not, completely sure I'm teaching it right, but I'm seeing the results. And that's when I start seeing that I have to swing it more to be able to teach it better and find different points to help guys. And the stories after that one started to pile up. The results started to pile up. The hate also started to pile up. People were like, this is not right. This is wrong. What are you doing? You're ruining this kid. Much of like how I sounded when I first stumbled upon Rich. But then I started seeing things that you can't unsee, and testimonials kind of speak for themselves. And then so I don't know if you noticed that I was like kind of shifting.
No, I did.
Towards it. So I didn't really know that, if you knew or not. But I know that a lot of guys did realize that and left. They stopped coming to what used to be packed hitting sessions because they started seeing a shift in, teaching HLP. But again, I could not go back and unsee the fact that we're swinging and missing through pitches to now guys are raking against good arms, bad arms. Didn't matter what time, place, scouting report, they didn't even see it. It was like throw me the damn ball, I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna rake. And they were raking, no matter the level. So guys left, some more guys came in, more results started to show. And then Ahmir finds his way back. This was after a year you had, this was a Gaston year, right?
Yeah, I hit like 360 or something like that. And hit 360, had like maybe 1 or 2 homers, was one of the leading RBI guys. It was that season. And then I played in the Appy League, and then came back after. And then you were like, yo, we're gonna do something different. And I was like, I'm down.
I'm down. That's crazy.
Because I played good in the Appy League to start, and then once there was dudes running up to like 95, 96, 97, I was just like guessing and couldn't. I was just trying to hit the ball, just like guessing where it's gonna be, and I was like, dude, I need help. And then it came back, and that's where it started.
That's crazy, because like Amir's actually one of the few guys that's kind of seen the beginning of tinkering with things and the constant like trying to get things right and perfect, whatever. It's never gonna be perfect, but he's been through the whole process. He's seen the whole process. He's felt it. And but that story, man, that summer after the Apple League, that was right before we opened up, right? That was June.
Yeah.
So June was the first session you had. I think you came. Did you come one time? Was it one time?
Yeah, I think it was twice.
We came twice. The first session, it ended with a broken Tatis model Victus. We didn't do flips. We think we did flips for like 5 minutes, but before that,
we didn't do flips at all, bro. We did tee for like an hour and a half. I don't even know how long it was. It felt like 3 days. Did tee, and I was like, bro, I can't hit the ball off the tee. I can't hit a ball that's not going anywhere. So I got frustrated, and I slammed my bat, and it broke.
He literally snapped his bat.
And I heard the snap, and I was even more pissed because it was broken, bro. I was pissed already, and then I was pissed after I broke it. So I was just double mad. I didn't know. I don't know. I was ready to go home at that time. I was like, dude, this is done.
His first snap was a snap of him breaking his bat.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
First official snap was indeed a broken bat that I broke. Yep.
Oh, man.
That was my first official snap.
And it doesn't end there. I mean, 2 sessions, 2 completely frustrating times. And I was just like, dude, you're going to get it. Just trust me, bro. It's fine. You're going to get it. And then we open up Wheelhouse in June 2022. And his third session ended in him throwing his aluminum bat across the 60-foot cage.
Completely thrown, completely overhand, just toss. Like it was an actual baseball, man.
Oh, man. It was bad. Real bad. But he kept on coming, which is awesome. I think it was like literally that next session, the 4th session, things started to finally click. He was like, all right, but I still feel stupid.
I did.
But I'm like,
still feel stupid.
This is when I was like, all right, do you remember the blast motion and how I would always say, dude, that swing's not good, but you would be barreling it up? And he was like, yeah, I fucking hated that too. And I was like,
which is true.
I'm like, bro, like, but look at the video. This is where I truly believe now that your phone, if it could take a video and you could put it side by side and you can start breaking it down to seeing the things that we see now on video that high level hitters have, the absolutes, like the barrel blurring suddenly, the missing frames. When you can start putting that side by side and start breaking it down frame by frame, he started to see it. He wasn't necessarily feeling it right away. He started to see it. He was like, oh shit, like all right, I see that now. Okay, now how do I make that consistent to where I can actually hit the damn ball off the tee now and actually hit flips and actually hit machine? And I was like, we'll get there. And this is like kind of like a tell about how development goes. Like development's not gonna always be like this. We would love it to be, but his case wasn't like that. The other kids, like their case just so happened to be this, but they were also really athletic and gifted kids that had just good fortune at the time. At a certain point in time, your athleticism or your ability kind of like catches up to you, and your ability and your technique, if it's failing, is going to catch up to you. So your athleticism only takes you so far. It stopped for him in the Apple League when he was seeing mid-nines to upper nines and felt like he had to guess through everything and hopefully just put his bat on the ball. Luckily, he was able to, hold his weight. I couldn't do that. It ended for me Division I baseball. And for me, I could hit a fastball. I couldn't hit a breaking ball. And the scouting report was throw him a slider any count, no matter what it was. And for me, I was like too stupid to realize that I was the guy that was like, it says it, but like, what if they don't do it? So I was still swinging thinking it was a fastball. And again, going back to the approach thing and hand-eye thing, had I been able to pick up and read pitches, it would have helped me. But when I look back at my swing when I was playing in high school, my swing technique was god-awful. Awful. And I look at it and I'm like, how the hell could people say I had a decent swing? When I look back at it, I'm like, this swing sucked. It was bad. Really bad. So even if I did see pitches, there was no way I was able to, if I were to recognize it, be able to have a swing that was going to be able to hit consistently and barrel up balls consistently. So for him, his development took 4 sessions, right? And we still go through it every single day. It's taken years now. What was it, 2022? Mm-hmm. We're in 2025 now, dude. And 26. Shit, dude. Damn. What's it, Jam? Fuck. 2026. Dude, that's crazy. We're in 2026 now. So that's going on 4 years. Dude, wow. 4 years. Five. 2021. 5 years. Yep. Jeez, time's flying. So we're going on 5 years now. And he's now coaching kids. He's coaching all of our hitters have put trust in him. They listen to him. They look at him swing. They see him do it, So it's taken 5 years for him to really, truly find his style and find his way. But that 4th session was kind of the first tell of, okay, the video is showing something different. The video doesn't lie. Any of you that play a sport, the video don't lie. Football, basketball, doesn't matter. If you're not showing an effort on video, you're showing you can't defend a guy on video, you're showing that you can't get past a guy on offense on video, coaches see that. And you can't unsee it once you see it. Yeah. So when you put the video up there, you can't unsee what you see, even if you may not feel it necessarily right away. So for him, I don't know, it was more of a...
The video definitely sold me for sure, because I was, just the tell between the two swings, I was like, damn, that's it right there.
Yeah.
Versus what I was doing.
It was, that's it, okay, I see it.
I just got to duplicate it and try to do that every single time.
He started to see it first. Seeing was more believing. Then by end, he started to really feel the quickness. He was actually really able to release and be explosive and do everything he needed to do in order for him to have success. And I think the big tell for me with the launch quickness piece was obviously the results, but going back a little bit further, when guys would go on the machine, they would get blown off by the machine. He started raking on the machine. And at the time when we first started, we hit the machine back 50 feet. So it was what the hell the ball's gonna throw to you? We were just doing baseballs and the ball.
Sinkers,
he would see sinkers, cutters, sliders, two seams. He would see balls that just rise. I didn't really know how to, put the machine and set it up so it had realistic spin. No matter what we did, it was just didn't matter. And we didn't have cage flight balls or anything like that. It was just regular baseballs, and it sucked. He was still able to swing and hit it. And that was the first time where I was like, okay, I think we're on the right path. And that fall, when you have hitters say, dude, I feel more prepared than ever, when he can say that and he said, I'm ready to go, let's go, man. I feel more prepared than I've ever have. That meant something to me too. Because I thought we were always prepared. But when guys feel confident in their ability to hit, that spoke volumes. He already has the approach down packed. He can pick up pitches. But now the swing, he's confident in his swing, that it will play for him where he's going to school. That meant a lot. So then we went even closer on the machine. Mm-hmm. And that's when we discovered what we do now. At the time it was 30 feet, right?
30 feet.
It was 30 feet away. But I put it on some weird, I had the big hacks. It was 5.57 on the machine. That shit was coming 40.
Had it on the mound too.
We had it on the mound the first two, man. It was coming downhill. It was 5.57, something like that. It was coming 50 miles an hour from 30 feet away. It was humming. And I tried it at first. One of the kids that trains here, he was kind of the scapegoat for it. And even he had some decent success on it. But it was as unrealistic as it gets. And we have a couple videos on the Wheelhouse page where his first time doing it, he was like, dude, what the hell? You're insane.
I was this is coming so fast, bro.
You're insane, bro.
Bro, what is this?
At the time it started though, it was just like, it's the only way the ball stays straight. So I'm like, I'm gonna.
That is also
Yeah.
true though. That is also true.
It was like, that's the only way to stay straight. Then I discovered like, okay, we could take it off the mound and it still stood straight. And then I think my first time realizing that it may be too fast, I think I had, it was Justin Gerardo, Grit was here, and he was working with one of the guys, and I told him when I put it on, he was like, dude, what? So, and then I realized, I was like, maybe it is too fast. I was like, maybe I'll put it down a little bit. I saw him put it down, I watched what he did. I was like, all right, I'll put it there. And then we just started tinkering with it more, putting it closer. And then we found the dials that worked for us. And even today, we still tinker with it and move it. And you'll be surprised that some guys, like, they want to go back to what it was. And I'm like, you're crazy. And I'm like, let's do it. We have had sessions where we just do it, and they love it. They love it. It's challenging. It's fun. And before it was like, hey, this is the only way the ball stays straight. It was also, this is the ultimate test of launch quickness. Like if you're on time and your swing is not good, your technique is slow, you're gonna miss. But if you're on time, your technique is quick, you're truly quick, you barrel it. It was one of those things where there was no gray area. It was black or white. Swing sucks, you miss. Technique's good, you hit it. And you barrel it. It's not like you clip it or whatever, you barrel it. So it was either barrel or swing and miss, clip, roll over. It wasn't you didn't get lucky and run into one. It was really hard to do that. So that was our real test with the machine and how we did that. So I think I want to close on this. Throughout the whole entire thing, development and everything, how we kind of found where we are today, what made you come back, even through all that?
I think it's just the fact of seeing other people succeed too, because that's also a feeder into people coming back to places. And I knew you for a while, so I knew you were onto something. And I did the strength program here, so I was getting stronger. And I knew the swing would come. Baseball is not going to be like that, where it's just right away. It's going to come. It's going to take some time. It's a process, as people say. Trust the process. I'm quite literally trusting.
It's right here, bro.
Yeah,
trust the process.
Literally trusting the process. So I knew it was going to get faster. I knew it was going to get stronger. Vega has had a great strength program since high school, so I already knew that coming in, and I just kept working. Pretty much. I knew I was going to show up every day. So I show up every day. I put in the work. I keep working, keep bringing positive vibes, and that's really the reason I keep coming back.
Yeah, he's a true definition of like trusting the whole process, man. Like you have a vision, but we all would love it to pan out right away. And if it was that easy, dude, we'd all be millionaires, billionaires. We'd all be the top 1% of like richest people in the world, and we'd all have our goals accomplished. We'd be exactly where we want to be, you know. And he's the prime example of like, if I come in every single day, I bring the positive vibes, positive energy. It may or may not work, but at least I'm doing my part and putting my trust and belief in this thing, and it's gonna come. And he's the ultimate example of it. It's coming along. It has. It really has. And we just hope that, you know, he can continue on with his career and do great things with it. But if not, he knows that he's put every single ounce, he's squeezing every single last bit of juice that's in whatever that he has to develop and be the best he can be. And that's it right there, you know. And I appreciate you also for putting your trust in me for those things. Results are one thing, but when you see people changing and they believe one thing at first, and then they have this belief in another thing, and then they start to change to this thing, it can be hard to really trust that person and stay with them when you're seeing constant change. But I truly do believe that the change that has happened has been for the better. And I think the results, although there were results prior, the results that we were truly looking for, with guys truly reaching their maximum potential, not just having results, but producing when things are the most challenging, also speaks volumes. Like, your results are great, but what's the next step of results? Like, are you performing when it's the most challenging, when things are pressure, stakes are high, like they're high, like, do you crumble there? Does this eat you alive, or are you at a level where you know you can have success there and you actually proved you can have success there? So I think that's kind of where it's at, and really appreciate that, dude. So, but yeah, that's episode 2, man. Inside the Wheelhouse, Elite Baseball Insights with Brandon Vega and
Ahmir Cournier.
Ahmir Cournier. We appreciate you guys watching. Please like, follow, subscribe. Anything you guys want to see in the next episodes, put it in the comments. Whatever you guys want to see, we'd love to hear your insights and input, and maybe bring it to the next couple episodes for you guys. So that's it, man. We hope you liked it. If not, we still don't give a shit. But on to episode 3.